Hi, welcome to my channel. In the first part of the Calendar to Fiscal Dates video series, we discussed the various solutions to fiscal year conversions of dates and created and entered all related formulas. In this part 2 of this series, we will review how we can recycle these formulas by using VBA for Excel. Our agenda items for today: what is VBA for Excel, review formulas to recycle, setting up the VBA environment for both Mac and Windows, what is an Excel Macro Enabled Workbook, and then go and have fun with creating the user-defined functions. This tutorial is a very brief introduction to VBA with the purpose to demonstrate how you can leverage your work by creating simple user-defined functions. Having said that, let's move on with our agenda items. If you would like to review the methodology and logic that helped us develop the formulas to answer the calendar questions and the fiscal year questions, please check the link to that video below in the description. Let's go over the formulas we will concentrate in this video. The formulas in the right under the fiscal year area are the formulas that we will convert to functions. You will be accessing the environment from the Developer tab at the Home tab in Excel. If you click on Developer, then under Ribbon you get all the areas for VBA. Let's proceed with setting up the VBA environment. If you never used VBA before in Excel, chances are you don't have the Developer tab at the Home showing. Let me show you how to add it, whether you're working on a Mac operating system or Windows PC. For Mac OS, click on the Excel tab, select Preferences, click on Ribbon and Toolbar, scroll down on the Customize ribbon area, locate Developer and click on Save. Notice that the Developer tab shows at the top of the Home tab. For Windows PC, right-click on any empty area at the ribbon, click on Customize the ribbon, scroll down to customize the ribbon, select Developer, and click OK. Notice the Developer tab showing up on top and the Visual Basic component. Let's do it another way. Click on the file, go to Options, select Customize ribbon, scroll down to Developer, and click OK. Once again, the Developer shows on top, and at the left is the Visual Basic. In Excel, when you write a macro or write VBA code in a new or existing workbook, you will need to save the file as a macro enabled file with a .xlsm extension. Let me show you how to do that. At the File tab, click on Save As, go to the File Format area, scroll down, and select the Excel Macro Enabled Workbook and click on Save. For Windows, click on File, click on Save As, select the type, Select the one Excel Macro Enabled Workbook and click on Save. Let's go to the Visual Basic Editor interface. We need to create a new module first. A VBA module is a place or container to store the code we'll write in the VBA editor. When the workbook is saved, the module containing all your code is also saved along. Right-click on the area that says This Workbook. Select Insert. Select Module. You will be presented with a blank screen, and think of it as an editor file that you're going to type your code. Let's go create the first function that returns the fiscal year number. Let's copy the original formula. Now in VBA, anything you put after a single quote, it's considered to be a comment, which means VBA compiler ignores anything after a quote. As best practices, it's advisable to always document your code in VBA. Let's start typing function. Let's give it a name. Let's call this function getFY. While we're passing through, we're passing any date, and we declare this date variable as a variant. It can have any value. As long as what we get back. We get back an integer. By default, VBA enters the end function, which indicates the end of the function block. We assign the value that's going to be calculated to the name of the function. Let's paste the original formula and make slight adjustments. We convert the if statement to the immediate if, and wherever we have the call to a cell, we substitute with the variable name QDate. And there you have it. Let's go back to the spreadsheet and use the newly created formula. Start typing equals get. Look that this now became a list of options to select in Excel. Pick up the calendar date, close parentheses, and there you have it. Copy paste the formula below to check the results. And we're good to go. Let's go create the fiscal year text function. Copy the formula, switch the Visual Basic Editor, let's add the comment to indicate which function we're working on. Start typing function. Let's call this function get FYT for text. We pass any date. That date is a variant type, but this time we're getting back a string. Let's pass the value to the function getFYT equals, paste the original formula, and make the necessary adjustments. Change the if statement to immediate if, and substitute the cell calls to the name of the variable. Let's go back to the spreadsheet and use this function now. Equals getFYT, pick up the date, and there you go. Let's create the fiscal year period function, copy the original formula, and let's go to the VBA editor, paste it as a comment, start typing function, let's call it getFYP, pass the date, is a variant, and we get back a number, which is defined as long. Let's pass the value to the function name, getFYP equals, paste the original formula, make the necessary adjustments, change the if to immediate if, and the cell calls to the date calls, the date variable. And there you have it. Let's switch back to the spreadsheet, rewrite the formula, getFYP, pass the date, and there you have it. Copy paste the formula below to check our results. And as you'll see, everything works out correctly. Let's recreate the fiscal year period text formula right in the spreadsheet by leveraging the newly created function for the period. Start typing equals, double quotes, FY dash, close double quotes, ampersand, the newly created formula, which we're going to pass with a leading zero, so we use the text, getFYP, that will give us the period from any date, the fiscal year period from any date, and then add the text code, the two zeros, which will create a leading zero in the period. This way we ensure sorting gets done correctly. Copy paste the formula below, make sure our results are correct, and there you go. Let's go create the fiscal year quarter number function. Copy the original formula, go to the VBA editor, paste the original formula to have it as a guide and as a comment for the newly created function. Start typing function. Let's call it getFYQ, fiscal year quarter, pass the date as a variant, and we get back an integer. Let's pass the value to the function, getFYQ equals integer 05. Now 05 is the cell of the original calendar date. If I want to get the fiscal period, I can pass the function that changes the calendar date to a fiscal year period, and that converts into a fiscal year quarter. Let's go back to the spreadsheet and reuse the formula. Equals getFYQ, select the date, and there you go. Copy paste the formula below, ensure the results are correct, and there you go. Let's rewrite the formula for the fiscal year quarter text. Equals FYQRT, ampersand, and we're going to use the text function to patch leading zero. The formula is getFYQ, pass the calendar date, and there you go. Copy the result and paste it to the other cells. Make sure that the results are correct. And there we have it. We completed the entire spreadsheet by using the newly created functions. The spreadsheet looks much simpler than what it did before. I hope you found this information in this tutorial useful. I hope you saw how you can recycle formulas into functions that will keep using over and over again in this spreadsheet or in other spreadsheets going forward.